Gambit here. Welcome to another episode of Art Stuff with Gambit. Last week we were working on a page for my webcomic. This is us. Still working on changing that title. Have some ideas, but that's for later. I was working one of the pages for the comic book for the web comic. Oh my god, that was difficult to say. And today we're going to color that page. Uh, what I did was that last week we couldn't finish doing the inking part, so I just inked part of it, so you guys had an idea of what the process was like after the all the sketching of the page, uh, how the ink process goes. Um, and what I did was I finished inking it, and today we're going to add colors to that page. So I'm going to change the camera now so that to the settings so we can see. Oh, I apologize in advance. The angle is not going to be the best. I have some technical issues today, and I have to reset up everything, and some things don't fit like they should. So bear with me a little. I promise that for next week I'll have a better setup and be comfortable again. But anyways, let's do this. There it is. I am going to turn one of these lights off. First of all, I'm going to change that here so I can see it. And I'm going to turn this light off. There you go. Much better. All right. And let me close this thing because I don't need to have Facebook open. All right. So, this is a beholder. You are like Dungeons and Dragons. You might be familiar with it. All right. So I already lettered the page and inked the page. So this is how the set page looks. Let me put this a little bit more flat. Maybe you can see it there. I changed the layout of the page. Originally, I have this page to be like this. This was the original layout that I did for it. But I was having trouble with this panel right here because I wanted to be the biggest panel, the biggest panel. But I didn't like that it broke the second panel. I I didn't like that it was so close. You get the punchline of the page so close to the second panel. Just doesn't it just doesn't flow right. So once I ink it, I send it to I have a group of friends, a selected group of friends that I send it to, and they give me feedback. And the general feedback that I got was that the last panel with the T-Rex was conflicting with panel 2. So I decided to just, since it was already inked and it's ready to go, it was easy to just change the layout of the page. Right? Uh, I feel like not only did I change the layout, I changed the order. These panels really don't need to be in any specific order to work. You can read them in whatever order, and it's the same thing. Uh, then I added the word balloons, Jesus, and then I added all of the words. Haha. So here, this is where I put the title. Um, and I just realized that I am, because this goes like this. All right. So yeah, what people think living with a bird is, and he really looks really cute. The reality. Oh my god. This one's this whole thing is one of my favorites, but this is one of my favorite panels right now because this is a problem. Every time I try to take a shower, he's just there looking at me and screaming. And he usually stops if I grab him and get him in the water, similar to how I have how hold him how I am holding him here in this panel. And then he gets some, and I put my other hand underneath the shower, like in this area right here, like this, and the water that splashes hits him, and then he just closes his eyes and gets all zen moment for him, right? But meanwhile, I'm here holding up my hand so that he can have his moment under the shower, and then he just gets quiet. So it's not that bad. All right. So, anyways, now I'm rambling. Um, I already have some colors for when I work on This Is Us that I usually use. That way, all of the comics, all of the pages have a consistent color scheme, right? So that's where we're going to start. And I'm going to, out of all of these hundreds of oh, hello, Emma. Emma Senshi. Is it okay if I say Emma, or do I have to say Emma Senshi? Please let me know. I don't want to be a douche. Anyway, so out of these bunch of brushes, I've been using this color mark from True Grit Texture Supply, I think it's called. I know it's True Grit. Um, they have some really cool brushes that emulate markers, and this is what I'm using right now, color mark. And I like, this is one of my favorite ones, and one of the things that I like about this brush is that they behave very close to what my Copic markers, how like my Copic markers behave. Right? I don't know if I said that right. Usually when I'm coloring, I don't mind, coloring outside of the lines. I can go later on and clean it like I am doing right now. That does not look like my hand, but it's okay. It's fine. I can always lower the opacity a little bit so that, there you go. And then let me go back up. Push down. So I choose one of the colors that I'm going to use. Usually I go with my skin first because it's easy. I try not to forget that I have tattoos when I'm drawing myself in these comics. But if you go to my website and go see the pages that I have there, you'll notice that I almost never draw my own tattoos. I forget that I have them. I don't. I see them every day, and
it's just such a huge part of who I am and how I see myself that I don't see them. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, so once I got that first color, I go ahead and color everything that's going to use that color at the same time. I could go in and select the shape and color drop what I'm doing, what the what I'm going to color, but I like to do it this way because you'll be able to see some expression in those brush strokes. I want you to be able to give it a little bit sorry, of a more organic feel. I want you to be able to tell that it was done by hand, more of a traditional look. It should be the word that I'm looking for. So it doesn't look so clean and polished because that's what how digital art can sometimes look, very polished. And that's cool if that's the look you're going for, but it's not what I'm trying to achieve with this one. Okay, Emma, thank you. Yes, and I know who it is. All right. So I drew myself in better shape than I really am because I can do that. There's no rule that says I can't. All right, so Churchill is white, but I am not going to go and choose full white. I'm going to go, he's white with some gray. So I'm going to do just a little bit of gray, a very light gray. See some of yes, these gray spots. I'm gonna use gray because then later I'm gonna go in with some white over it, and I'll be able to see it and notice the difference from the background. See, I can go similar to my markers. I can go over it again, and it just keeps getting darker, keeps multiplying. Oh, I'm gonna have to look for a picture of Churchill. I don't remember his markings. I have some here on my Snapchat because I take pictures and videos of him all the time. Oh, look, in the shower. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about. That's his panel. That's his panel right here. I got so excited. So stupid. All right, let me okay, Churchill, enough of that. Save that because I need that picture. Because I need to see your markings, bruh. Okay, that works. I got so excited to show you guys that video. All right. Let's continue with this. That's a nice break. Uh-huh. So he has more gray here. So I'm going to make sure that I darken that. Okay, so nice. There you go. here. He's like this, and he's has just like here in his eyes. It's not a mask, but it kind of does look like a mask. Huh, I didn't notice that until now. Look at that. And I've drawn this bird so many times, and now I just noted that he has a mask. Thank you, thank you. Let me, by the way, this is exactly how I cook with no shirt on and just uh, a very girly apron. Right, so let's put more gray here. I can do this a little bit bigger. There you go. It's too big. Okay, some great spots for Churchill. And his masks part. He has some spots here and on top. I'm going to change the way I was going to do this thing, and I'm going to go already make it white here and here. And actually, all of this is white. So I'm going to clean this up here and down here because let's give it some shape. Ahí está. Now it looks like him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing all over the places that I already put gray. I'm gonna change the way I'm going to do this thing. Right. No, what am I doing? Okay. Spots on his eyes. Right. And some grays down here. So stupid. I hate how cute he looks. Right. You got some spots here, Church, or you got some spots here and here. This vigilante bird. Hi D. So nice to see you joining us. Miss you guys, by the way. We need to get together soon. All right, let me put some green on this T-Rex. Should I go with green or should I go with a more brownish color? No, let's do some gross green. Okay. I will probably end up changing this color because I do not like it that much. Okay. This is not a T-Rex following him. This is how he sees himself. I don't think if I manage to convey that well. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try something here real quick to make sure that he looks a little bit less saturated. Let me see if I can. No, I can't change the saturation of just that part. Oh yeah, look at that. I can make it There you go. All right. So now, oh, okay. I was like, what? Was on the wrong layer. There you go. All right. And here we have to get this out of here. All right. Let's continue. So a little bit of purple, grayish, something like that for the inside of the mouth. Oh, that's too supposed to be one pass, Gambit. One pass. Then you add the other part. There it is. Erase the excess. That same pink, I'm gonna use it in here. Notice how I didn't clean the green that it was there because I wanted to use that green to stain or not stain, darken the pink that I was going to put there. What I see. Then let me use some yellow for them teeth. Bro needs to go see a dentist. Yeah, I was gonna tell him that, right? Yeah, every chance you get to draw a T Rex, draw a T Rex. It's gonna be my new rule. Okay. No, do not like that. Let's use a little bit more dark here. Black nails, because Churchill has tiny black claws. Yes, Churchill knows the blood of dinosaurs run through his veins. He knows it. I swear he knows it. Let me see how that looks. You know what? I like that. Let's use that. Right. Doesn't look that flat now. Anyway, I don't want to put too much detail into him because it's supposed to be like faded, like it's like in an illusion. Jesus Christ, Gambit, do you know how to English, man? But we're going to do the explosion in the background. Bam. Nope, do not like that. One of the many advantages of digital art is that if I go like, shit, I don't like that, I just do this and voila, start from scratch. Which is the one thing that I would say is hella convenient. You know how much paper I don't waste since I started, since I moved to doing art digitally? Jesus. A lot. That's a lot. My God, I can't believe that we're already on episode 7. It's been 7 weeks. You guys, can you guys believe that? 7 weeks. All right. Now this is my hair. Right. Before I had red and yellow in my hair. Now it's white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going there is because damn. Oh, I also need to erase this for this piercing and this piercing right here. Same thing with this dude. Oh, too much. Too much. Let me. This is a band shirt that's already faded. There you go. And stupid bird. So different to the T-Rex that's pink on the inside. This dude is still gray on the inside. He's like a black and white picture. So it's taking some shape. I feel like I need to break this up a little bit, so I'm gonna use this light blue on the apron because everything looks. Let me use here. You don't see it because and I did it on purpose. I covered the speaker in the back of the word balloon of Churchill screaming. Jesus, that was difficult to say. Um, but I did it on purpose because that's exactly what happens. You try to ask something, and the moment you say her name, and I'm not saying it because there's one here, I don't want it to start asking questions. Um, the moment you say the name, he just screams like, and you have to repeat the same command a few times because he just doesn't want you to speak to her. I'm gonna use the same blue here because in reality, my shower head is actually bronze color, not blue. But I already feel like I have a lot of brown. Actually, you know what? Let me see something. Looks more golden than orange, but I can work with that. Now it's kind of a little bit more balanced out. I make sure that I put these colors underneath the layer that has the ink panels, which is this one. I have them in a group, but which is this, and the lettering. So that way, nothing affects that work that's already done. Just make sure that you're on a different layer and not make the mistake that I think all of us have made since the invention of digital art. All right, some red in here in the explosion because why not, right? Boom. And I want to put it on top so you can see it on top of the, I was gonna say alligator, but it's not alligator. It's a T-Rex. I wanted to be obvious that I'm going over the T-Rex because T-Rex is in the back and it's not supposed to even be there. You know what I mean? Anyway. Now I know that I need to clean this part here because I do want Churchill to be the. Oh, what an idiot. Dum Dum Gambit. I use that same light blue for the piercings, which is barely noticeable, but I can use it here just so that there's always one of those hooks that's always out of place, no matter what you do. It's always out of place. Look at that stupid thing. Oh, so cute. Put some red here. Stop it. I'm gonna give him his little dark nails and maybe shading here. There you go. Ah! All right, so I still feel like this is missing something and it's color in the background. So I'm gonna create another layer underneath all of them, and I'm going to, for that one, I'm going to select these specific areas, right? Like this. Bam. And then get the color that I want. This is always for me the most difficult part is deciding what I'm going to do with the backgrounds, how I'm going to color them. It's always an issue unless it's super obvious what the background is. But when it's more plain like this, that you just have an idea of where I'm standing or the characters are standing, it's always a problem to put some color in them, at least for me. But the more I do this thing, the easier it'll get. See, right now, I just realized that although I do have that wall in the apartment like this line doesn't go here because this wall is completely all the way up to the other side. It's not. I mean, it's not really doesn't matter. It's not. This is not a real place. But if I do it that way, I can maybe. Man, I wonder why I draw that line there. It's so odd. Okay, let me go back to this panel in the background. And I'm going to select it again because I want to keep it inside that panel. I don't know if it's that purple that I'm not feeling, but let's try something different. Mm, Not liking it. Man. Okay. This dude I have to clean because he is not supposed to be purple. So I get for not actually painting him white. Let me clean this up. Let's see how that looks. That's a little bit better. I can't break this here, so breaks it a little bit. Here, I'm going to use that same purple, but in the curtain. Yeah, let me see. Let's try something else. Nope. Didn't change my tool. All right. Now I clean this. By clean, I mean I erase the areas where I don't want the purple to show. There it is. I'm like, why is it adding more color? I accidentally changed it to the brush from the eraser. And here, bam, now it looks like. Choo, choo, choo. Ah, all right. And again, we erase these things because we want to show the water. So what I'm doing is that I'm erasing the purple in the areas where I want to show water heating. Some right here. Say who you say you are. Oh, wait, look. I almost left that there. Okay. It's a little bit better. And I'm going to erase it this way just so I show you a different way of doing it. Oh, there it is. And I just move that selection out of the way. Bam. It's faster. It's a faster way to erase stuff. Ah, this dude. Same as with the panel before, I'm just going to select what I need. We get this dude here, Churchill feather. Oops. Here. Oh my God. Look at that. Denied. I mean, it's kind of cheating because Churchill being white is easier. I just leave those parts without color. I kind of don't like that. So I'm just going to continue adding more stuff here so that it doesn't look so empty. I mean, I was not going to leave this part empty anyways. I like the dust coming. It's important to make the noises when you're drawing them, like explosion and all of that. Otherwise, it didn't happen. Uh, what am I missing here? Let me add some details, some highlights to this thing that I'm wearing here so that it's not so blue. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get a tiny brush that I like to, it's none of these brushes, it's this one. And I'm going to draw some flowers in this thing. Just, to drive the point home that I'm wearing a very delicate apron. Wait, am I in the right panel? Yes, I am. I am. There you go. It's a little bit of detail there. And let me put some little bit of green in certain areas just to break it apart. Break it apart. Yeah, break it just a little bit here and there. Man, I'm gonna have this apron made. The one that I have is not. It's a different kind of delicate. It doesn't have flowers. I think it's fruits, the one that I have. All right, put some gray here. Da, 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 da. Let me go to recent so that it's easier to change from marker, from brushes to brushes. Oop, super big. Let's put this here. It's too gray. If I use this light blue, I've used this light blue so much for other stuff that let's try a different one. I guess that should work. And then we put here this and a little bit of that yellow. There you go. Why? It could have been white. Okay. Once I get to this point, which is mostly done, break this, put some shine in those nails, Gambit. To break some things apart a little bit. No, it's this side. No, do not like that. So that may be lightening up that this part. You know how the inside of your arm is a little bit lighter? That's what I'm trying to get here. Anyway, look at that. So now at this point, depending on what I want to, the look of the page I want, the exact look of the page I want, I sometimes go in and make on the top of on the top layer, I add another layer and add some noise to it. But lately, what I'm doing is that I go and I have some already insert file. I have already some paper texture. Oh no, freeform so that it covers the whole page. And then I set that to multiply. If it's too dark, what I do is that I change the opacity or look for another piece of paper, and that just gives it a little bit. See that texture, like that paper texture, right? You think, man, but you have to zoom in so much to see it. Yeah, but when you see it, it just doesn't feel that polished, right? And then I go and insert file, and then I have another one here that's like water stains, or in this case coffee stains, because they're like brownish, right? Same thing, uniform, because I wanted to grab the whole thing and I put on top of that. Bam. And that gives and that just makes, well, you can't really appreciate it that much on the screen, but once I post it later on my Instagram, you'll be able to see it, what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so I can delete this layer because I don't need it. I can move this layer to the bottom because I don't need it, but I don't want to lose it, just in case I have to go in and revise anything. These are this and this. Let me merge these two down, because there you go. Now this is the group where all the panels are. I'm still going to leave it separated, but I'm going to do is move this group here. But now I can flatten this one, and it's just one layer instead of five, right? And then these are the color layers, and I put them together. And now I merge these three, and now it's just one page. I can take this out, Okay. Nice, all in one layer. And I still have all the other copies. Oh no, I don't. Yes, I do. I have all the other copies that I need in case I have to go back to it and edit something, or I decide to change something last minute. Now, if I want to take this a little bit more, make it a little bit more. No, I cannot look in that folder right now. That would be a really bad idea. So what we can do is that I can go here. Let me open my Pinterest here real quick. Oh, that's right. I don't have internet on this thing now while I'm working. Anyway, so we can find a paper that has, it's a little bit more crumble, a little bit more texture. So if you want to give that more distressed and beat up effect that I sometimes like to give it. So what I do is that I make a layer mask, and then I go, remember that True Grit brush that I mentioned earlier, brush sets? They have a bunch of different ones, right? One of the ones that they have is this one that's craft on effects, right? This is if I want to add more water stains to the paper. Like I go here and I add multiply, and I choose the color that I want, this one, and see, and I can add more effects like that if I wanted to. But in this case, that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is in this mask layer, I'm going to use one of these. Use this one that's called heavy extraction. So what I do with that is I make the brush in a big size. Gracias, Emma. And I go in and what I do with that brush, you see how it faded that black there? That just makes it look like an old page where the ink it's fading because, you've flip through those pages many times, and then I go and I get some splatters out of here because it's a bunch of other things that I can do to give it a more to give it some more texture to it and make it a little bit less shiny and chrome. But for now, let's leave it like that. I think this is a nice way to end it. I can add more. I'm gonna add a little bit more gray here because it's bugging me. I'm gonna go here, and this dude's big. No, there you go. That's what you get, Gambit, for not recent. You're lucky. Bam. No, it was the gray, Gambit. The gray, gray. There it is. Because he does have some gray on his beak. I'm gonna repaint that. I'm gonna put this in a t-shirt. So be on the lookout for that. All right. I think this is it. I think we managed we get it to a nice place. I'm gonna be posting this picture later on my there's a post before this one that I will be making. Um, that I already have it scheduled. Let me change this cam here real quick. So I don't fall from this chair. All right, so we're done with that page. I hope you guys had fun watching me do this, as I know I did doing it. Anyways, thank you for watching, for being here with me another hour this week. I will see you next week for another episode of Our Stuff with Gambit. Leave me a comment what you think of the page, of the show so far. You can follow my Instagram account. It's Gambit Sync. There's also a coffee account. It's also Gambit Sync. It's easy to find Gambit Sync across everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, gambitsync.com. That's my website if you want to see more of my comic book. Thanks again for spending some time with me today, and I'll see you next week. Bye.